Hello and welcome back to Angular 2 Masterclass with Alejandro Rangel. In this section, we will talk about the ES6 most important feature, that is the arrow function or fat arrow. I want to emphasize that this is one of the most important and incredible features from ES6, so we should take time learning this as much as possible. Actually, in Angular 2, this is critical to have the knowledge of the fat arrow, and nowadays more and more developers are moving towards this direction. So let's see what is an arrow function and why it's so important. And from now on, I will call it the fat arrow, okay? So let's take a look on the example of the ES5 example on the left side. We have a function person, right? We define the age, so this.age is equal to 0. That's perfectly fine because we are inside the scope of person, right? But once we define the set interval, we are specifying a function, and inside, guess what? So probably you know this case, right? What's the answer? Well, the answer is that when you print console.log.this.age, the value is null because the this.age inside the set interval is pointing to the global window, right? So there are many hacks to solve this. We will see some of them once we go to Babel, but this is a critical and very common case of ES5, right? So the solution to this problem in ES6 is using the fat arrow, so it's a different syntax. Look in the line of the set interval how we don't define the function grow up, but we use this kind of weird syntax like we have parentheses and then the fat arrow. So this is exactly what we are talking about. It's in the same, but then the binding to the this of the parent is implicit in this call. So once we do this.age, we are referring to the this of the color. And this is super important. So because we are not depending anymore of the this pointing to the global window. So let's take a look on an example so we clarify this concept. Okay, so let's go to Babel. I will paste the code, but yeah, so here we have the example of the ES5, exactly what we were talking about, and we are printing null, right? Why? Because this.age is pointing to the window. Let's print this and let's see what is there. Wait a second. Yeah, so it's empty, there is nothing as we were expecting, right? So how do we fix this nowadays? Normally you will see developers doing something like this. Probably you have doing it before. So we have self.edge here and self.edge here. So yes, so now it's working because we are defining a variable self that is pointing to our this, to the this of person, and inside, there is no other this. So there is no collision between the this of the window and the this of the parent call. So this is working. This is a hack. We should not be defining a variable just to say that this here is the same and the same. So this is one of the workarounds that we have been doing for a long time. There is another workaround that is with the bind, But what happened in ES6? So I'm going to paste this is the ES6 version. I'm going back, so I want to show both examples in parallel. 1 second. Yes. So I'm going to comment this version. Now we have the ES6 version with the fat arrow. Remember that the fat arrow is just this. What do we do to define the fat arrow? Basically, we get rid of the function. So we don't have the function anymore here. Also, we don't have the grow up. So we just put the parentheses here of this function, and after that we put the fat arrow and voila, guess what? Now the this is pointing to the same this, and that's why we are getting this result. So that's great. I have to say that this is one of the most important features of ES6. So I will suggest that you take a look on the documentation of the Mozilla Developer Network, because the fat arrow syntax at the beginning is kind of strange. Yeah, so you will see something like this. This is the normal way you will write a function, right? You are get used to this. This is how it looks with the fat arrow. I will explain a little bit about this. Also the lexical this is exactly the example that we were talking about. I took it from here. So this is the one workaround, and this is a solution with the fat arrow. Yeah. Okay, so how can we work with the fat arrow? I'm just going to give a few examples. So if you can have, wait a second, this is okay. Now you can have, let's put here fat arrow. We can have stuff like this. So this is a normal function, right? This with a fat arrow should look like this. I'm sorry. Yes, so it should look like this. It's exactly the same, but we don't need all this part, right? How else? There are developers that are used to write the syntax like this, right? So how do we do this with the fat arrow? We could do something like this. Yeah, fat arrow. Yeah, I'm explaining this and I forget the most important. So these, all of them are exactly the same, and as you can see here, we are getting exactly the same result, right? So which other option do we have? I'm going to put this in a shorter version so we have more space. Yeah, wait a second. Okay, what other options do we have? Yeah, if we want to pass parameters, this is a typical case. So let's write the sum function. This function expects a parameter A, a parameter B, and then it returns the A plus B. Right? So this is a typical function from ES5. So how do we do this with the fat arrow? So we should write something like this. I hope that you get the point, right? So this is exactly the same. So you can take a look here. The result of both is the same, but we can go a little bit further. We could actually do A plus B, fat arrow, A plus B. Yeah, so, and we get exactly the same result. So all of them are combinations of the same. We can agree that this syntax at the beginning, it's a little bit scary compared with this one. Yeah, that we are defining a function, we pass A and B. But if you think about it, we are getting rid of the unnecessary stuff like the function and the return, because we know that this will happen, and then we use the fat arrow, and it's a cleaner syntax. I will say no, but it's faster to write, and believe me, once you write this 20, 30 times, you will get used to. So see you in the next video.